रब इशरह ली सदरी वयस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली सदक़ल्लाहुल अज़ीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम. So now we know that PF has assumed the role of a pillar of Pakistan's deterrent value. How does enemy see it? How does India see it, and how does Indian Air Force see it? Yes. The question is, why do always IF intimidates PF? In my opinion, Indian national and military leadership has identified Pakistan Air Force as the center of gravity of Pakistan Armed Forces and Pakistan's response. Yes, if PF is CG of Pakistan, it is worthy of it as per Qaed's dictates. It is carrying a legacy of leadership, the most important thing, as I always say. Since the days of Asghar Khan and Noor Khan, all through till Zahir Ahmad Babar. I'm not taking all the names because none deserves to be missed. Legacy continues. All of these gentlemen have always led the Air Force from the front. Either they are fighting from the cockpit or from the ops room. Leadership remains the CG of Pakistan Air Force and Pakistan's deterrent value. Colonel Warden also thinks five-ring theory, the leadership is most important. In Pakistan's case, I have absolutely no doubt about. Second is the strategy that is made by the leadership. Ready response. The beauty lies in its operational preparedness, which gives energy to its pilots, air defenders, ground combatants, engineers, and EW operators. LST3, leadership, strategy, and then T3, that is technology, training, and teamwork. LST3. Pakistan Air Force is highly adaptable to evolving technology. Remember the days of 60s when Indian Air Force was still operating Nats and Canberras and Hunters. Pakistan Air Force was operating Sabres, Starfighters, and MiGs. Alhamdulillah. So therefore, in my opinion, if you ask me, role I have already defined. The strategy, it was LST3 because PF always took the war inside enemy territory and did not allow them to enter Pakistan aerial frontiers. And that is what Indian Air Force is mostly worried about. However, PF is a very, very decent and sober institution. You will not find PF glorifying itself or thumping chests on its victory, though they deserve it because Allah Ta'ala has awarded them with hard kills that no other Air Force has achieved in 21st century. I don't know why our scholars and air warriors do not talk about it. But let me tell you, Pakistan Air Force, Alhamdulillah, is the most successful Air Force of the world in 21st century. So far achieved 10 kills against none because it is second to none. Alhamdulillah. So by the grace of Allah, Pakistan Air Force is the only Air Force that has kills against multiple air forces. Soviet Air Force during Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, Indian Air Force, like always, and even Israeli Air Force. Pakistan's Air Force hero, Janab Sattar Alvi Saab, shot down Israeli aeroplane, a fighter jet, while flying from the platform of Syrian Air Force. So this is a unique credit to Pakistan Air Force. Now, let's come down to the question that how does PAF achieve this daunting task with such meager resources against at least 4 times larger service, budget, strength, and number of aircraft? In my opinion, the leadership gives the vision, provides enabling resources, approves air strategy in the concept of operation, and after that, it is the job of the operations branch, the training branch, that they prepare not only the pilots, engineers, air defense controllers, EW operators, they're very, very important, and undertake vigorous training, exercises, briefings, debriefings, claims, counterclaims, and it goes on. 24/7, 365 days a year. There is no break as far as Pakistan Air Force's preparation is concerned. It invests its maximum effort in Sun Tzu's dicta: know yourself, know your enemy. The problem with the Indian Air Force is they do not study Sun Tzu. They study Chanakya Kautilya, who has said, your neighbor will always be your enemy, so make friends with neighbor's neighbor. And that is why they have more friendship with Afghanistan and Iran, and they keep us as their enemy. Sun Tzu says, win the war without fighting. That's what Pakistan Air Force does. Alhamdulillah, I have written 2 books on Sun Tzu. One, the translation of the art of war, and understanding Sun Tzu and the art of hybrid warfare. So PAF prepares itself with a dicta which I have given: compete within and compete without. This dicta is inspired by Qaed's vision of peace within and peace without. So Pakistan Air Force prepares itself by competing within so that it is ready to compete without whenever it is needed. Therefore, the personality traits of Pakistan Air Force that the Pakistan Air Force develops in its personnel and more so in its pilots is courage, initiative, and analytical skills. Courage gives them the killer instinct. You have seen it many times. Initiative helps them steal the show and seize the opportunity. And analytical skills give them situational awareness. That is where they beat Indian Air Force upside down. And decision making and boldness. That's what we have seen. So, one more thing. Joint preparedness. Very important. PF does not do it all alone. In the era of jointness, where PF is fighting counterinsurgency campaign as well as its arch rival Indian Air Force, it does it in very, very close collaboration with Pakistan Army and Pakistan Navy. I am privy to the fact that Pakistan Army and Pakistan Navy voluntarily invest in Pakistan Air Force, support it financially, morally, and during training as well, because they know that PAF is the pillar of Pakistan's deterrent value. The Field Marshal and the Marshal of the Air Force, they all work together day in and day out to ensure that PAF is ready to respond whenever called upon. And Alhamdulillah, PF has done that. I'm not claiming very big, but please show me an air force across the globe which has shown such remarkable results during peace and war. Only in 21st century, 10 kills, alhamdulillah, against none. And inshallah, it will always be none. Every now and then, it faces sanctions, be it arms and equipment, but the leadership navigates through these challenges. Therefore, it is necessary to remind the nation, do not forget, within 10 months, Air Chief Marshal Zahir Babar identified, selected, and inducted J-10Cs when it was needed the most. Soon after the remarkable performance of Operation Swift Retort, PF needed to beef up, and it was done. That is why I give more importance to the leadership. And its integration recently, PL-15E, enemy did not know, because they do not invest in Sun Tzu. Had they known that PF has a combo of J-10C and PL-15E, they would not have come nearer than 200 kilometers.